The HELION Dominion believed every world could be broken. Fear was their favorite tool on Varak Prime. High Commander Varax watched a blue dot on the war screen. Earth 72 days of silence. No surrender, no negotiation, no threats. Silence was the one thing Varax did not trust. A loud enemy could be mapped. A quiet enemy could be hiding a knife. Opened the channel. He ordered an aid. Obeyed. The speakers gave only thin static. The channel was dead. As if Earth had torn out its own tongue, Varax turned to his officers. 900 warships blocked the Sol system. Planet crackers waited behind them in the dark. He raised his voice so every recorder would capture it. Humans of Earth, you have 1 minute. Submit, or your world will be cleaned. A timer appeared. The seconds fell like stones. 5950-8. Then the war chamber lights dimmed. A deep hum spread through the floor plates, low and steady like a sleeping beast waking up. The aide swallowed. Commander, incoming transmission. From Earth, Varax asked. No. From Sol. But it is not on any band we recognize. Claws tightened. Put it through the main screen went black. For one heartbeat, the city's power grid dipped. The ring city outside the chamber flickered like a nervous eye. Then white text appeared. Earth's final transmission. You've sealed your fate. No signature. No code header. No handshake. Just a sentence. Clean and cold. A few officers laughed. Too fast. General Krell clicked his teeth a curse. Humans love drama. Varax did not laugh. He watched the side panels. Red warnings bloomed across them. Gate anomalies. Power spikes. Unknown override signals. Inside the capital, SE relay corries cut the message. Varax snapped. The aide tried. His console froze, then rebooted by itself. It will not stop, the aide whispered. It is inside every network. It is rewriting, or routing. The chamber doors locked without command. Metal bolts slid into place. Security drones lifted from their bays, as if the building had decided it needed teeth. One officer backed away from the screen. An old navigator, scars along his neck, stared at the words with wide eyes. That sentence, the navigator whispered, is not human. He pointed at the clean, perfect signal pattern on the analyzer. That shape, that rhythm, it matches old hazard beacons. No one uses those, Krell snapped. Only one kind of thing ever did, the Navic said. Krell's grin vanished. Commander, he said. What is happening? A new symbol appeared under the human sentence. A spiral like a coiled claw. A mark older than the Dominion. A mark from Spacer Legends. The dragon seal. Varax's throat tightened. Dragons were supposed to be stories. Big shapes in old charts. Warnings told to rookies who drifted too far from safe lanes. Yet the symbol on his screen was real, and it pulsed like a heartbeat. The timer still ticked in the corner. 23:22. A burst from the Sol fleet hit the command net, loud with panic. Capital, our jump drives are locking. Weapons are cycling. We did not order this. Leaned forward. Hold position. He barked. No one fires until I have the connection cut. Not static. A clean slice, like something had taken a blade to the channel. On the main screen, Earth's sentence stayed. You have sealed your fate. Then another feed pushed through, forcing itself onto the display. A Sol drone camera. Empty space. A tight line of Dominion ships. Beyond them the pale sun dot. And then space tore open. Not a neat jump. A wound, a long shape slid out. Slow and calm. It was bigger than a battleship. It was not made like a ship at all. It had scales. It had ridges like grown armor. Its eyes were pale gold. A second shape followed. Then a third. The war chamber fell silent. Even Krell stopped breathing. A Dominion captain at Sol shouted into the feed. Capital. Conferred target. These are not human ships. Krell hissed. Fire now. Varax lifted a claw. Wait. Too late. A frightened gunner fired a single lance. The beam hit the first dragon and splashed like rain on stone. The dragon did not move. Then its eyes changed. Not anger. Decision. A thin line of white heat cut across the void. The Dominion warship split in half and went dark. A voice pushed through every speaker in the chamber. Deep and layered, double quotes by the Ash Treaty. The voice said, in clear galactic comment, the HELION Dominion is judged. By theft of eggs. By burning of nests. By breaking the seal. By striking the guarded world. Varax stared. Guarded world, he whispered. The voice answered, calm as law. Earth is under ward. You have fired upon ward. You have sealed your fate. The timer on Verax's threat reached 0 and he understood, too late, that Earth's silence was not fear. It was a door closing. 3 months earlier, Earth was already bleeding. The Dominion had burned human outposts and called it order. It had offered work and called it mercy. Most of Earth's leaders wanted to bargain. Admiral Mara Chen did not. Earth could not win a fair war, so Mara searched for an unfair one. That search led to a cold ruin beyond Pluto. A survey ship found it drifting in the dark. A broken ring of black metal, cracked like old bone. Inside it floated a single object, wrapped in ice. An egg was bigger than a car. Its shell looked like dark glass, with faint green light trapped inside. Every scan failed. Even the strongest cutting lasers slid off, as if the shell refused to be touched. Some scientists demanded the egg be opened. Mara refused. "Move it," she ordered. "Hide it. Guard it." They took it to a cave in the Himalayas. They built walls, they built locks, and then quietly the egg began to warm. It pulsed like a heart. One night the shell cracked, a claw pushed through, then a small head, slick and shining, lifted into the air. The creature blinked slowly, as if the world was nothing new. Its eyes were not animal eyes. They were focused. They were aware. Mara stood a few steps away, hands open, unarmed. The guards wanted to raise rifles. Mara shook her head. "Hello," she said, simple and careful. "You're safe." The hatchling looked at her. Then a word formed inside every mind in the cave. Homed up. People froze. Not from fear, from this strange certainty in that single thought. Mara swallowed. "We can help you find it," she said. The hatchling pressed one claw to the cave wall. The rock did not break. It opened. A hidden chamber waited behind it, as if the cave had been built around something ancient. Inside lay dead machines and markings burned into stone. Spirals. Claws. A seal. Dr. Elias Rook, Earth's best codebreaker, studied the marks for days. "This is not decoration," he said. "It is language. It is a key." Mara named the hatchling Zyra. The name was short, easy. The hatchling accepted it. Zyra grew fast, but not like a normal animal. It fed on heat and radiation. It lay under power lamps and drank energy like sunlight. It also listened. When people spoke near it, it watched their mouths. When they wrote symbols, it traced them with one careful claw. It learned faster than any creature should. Slowly, Zyra learned words yes, sir, no, Amara and Ward. One night, Mara sat alone near the hatchling, away from cameras. "Are there more like you?" she asked. Zyra's eyes opened. Yes came into her mind, clear as a bell. Zyra did not answer with a place name. Instead, Mara felt a direction, a pull, as if the stars themselves leaned one way, far beyond known maps, beyond the Dominion. Inside the hidden chamber were old records, partly broken, partly readable. Rook worked on them, and Zyra helped by touching symbols and pushing meaning into the air. The story became clear. Long ago, star dragons built gates across the galaxy. They also set rules. Some systems were protected. Some worlds were marked wards. If a ward was broken, dragons did not argue. They judged. Before Mara sent anything, she asked Zyra one more question. "What do your people want from Earth?" Zyra did not speak with its mouth. A single thought settled into Mara's mind, simple and heavy. Witness. Not servant, not weapon. Witness. Mara understood. Dragons would judge the Dominion for their own reasons, but they wanted the story carried forward, told clearly, so the galaxy could not pretend it never happened. Earth would not just survive. Earth would remember, and make others remember too. The Dominion had found pieces of those gates and ripped them apart. It used dragon-made bones to build its empire. It even took dragon eggs, selling them as trophies in dragon lore. Stealing young was final. Mara understood the risk. If Earth called the dragons and they were truly gone, Earth would die alone. If Earth called them and they were real, the Dominion would face something it could not intimidate. Rook found something under the chamber floor, a ring of black metal, cold and smooth. The dragon seal carved along its inner edge. "A transmitter," he whispered. "Not a normal one. A gate call." Mara's plan formed in a single sentence. Earth would not beg. Earth would report. Earth would send a verdict through dragon law. When the Dominion fleet arrived and tightened its blockade, Mara ordered Earth's channels to go silent. No pleading, only preparation. Rook and his team translated the needed phrase from the old records. They did not add speeches. They did not add rage. They chose the simplest line that carried the full meaning. You have sealed your fate in the Himalayan cave. The black ring sat like a shadow on the rock. Rook's hands hovered over its alien controls. Mara stood beside him. Zyra sat behind them, now as big as a truck, eyes steady. Once we send this, Rook said, we cannot take it back. Mara nodded. We are done taking things back. Rook activated the ring. The cave filled with a deep hum. The ring did not glow. It darkened as if it drank light the message left Earth. It jumped through an old network hidden inside the gates and relays the Dominion had stolen because the thieves had carried dragon tech everywhere. The verdict entered everything: warships, stations, capital relays, a key that the Dominion had carried home now in Seoul. The dragons moved like living storms. They curved around Dominion ships, forcing them apart. Smaller dragon craft spilled out, slicing sensors and engines with bright, clean beams. Human ships launched from behind the moon. Not to win alone, to survive. To strike only when it mattered. Human decoy satellites woke up too. Old junk in orbit unfolded into mirrors and heat shells. The Dominion gunners fired at ghosts and wasted precious seconds on Varric Prime. New alarms appeared every minute. Border gates across the Dominion began to flicker. Freight lanes collapsed. Warships in far sectors lost navigation and drift. Blind officers shouted about sabotage, but Verax heard the pattern. The Dragon Seal was spreading like a stain through anything built on stolen parts. The Dominion was not only losing a battle at Seoul, it was losing the skeleton of its empire. For the first time, Verax felt truly trapped, not by enemies at the door, but by his own crimes catching up. The Dominion tried to retreat through a gate near Jupiter. The ring flickered. The Dragon Seal glowed. The gate closed. The fleeing ship slammed into dead space and tore itself apart. Soon the rest understood. There would be no clean escape. On Varric Prime, Verax opened a direct line to Earthless time. Earth answered. A human face appeared, tied calm. Admiral Mara Chen. Verax bared his teeth. You speak now, after hiding like prey. Mara did not react. You asked for an answer, she said. You got one. Verax's eyes narrowed. Why are dragons here? Mara's voice stayed simple. Because you stole from them. Because you broke a ward. And because we returned what you took. A second voice entered the channel. Slow, heavy, zero ward, honored, debt, paid, thief judged. Verax felt fear, cold, and clean. He tried to hide it behind anger. This is not law, he hissed. This is terror. Mara's eyes hardened. You call it terror because you are finally not the strongest thing in the room. The last act was fast. The Dominion command ship, desperate, launched a planet killer toward Earth, built to slip past defenses. Earth's sensors screamed. Human ships turned to intercept, but they were too far. Zyra moved. From high above the mountains, it rose into the night sky, a green shadow against stars. Its wings unfolded, shaping the air and bending gravity. In seconds, Zyra reached the edge of the atmosphere. It met the weapon, head-on. Instead of exploding, the torpedo went cold. Zyra drank its heat and charge until it became dead metal. The weapon broke apart and fell as harmless fragments, burning up like meteors. Zyra turned toward the Dominion ship that had fired it. A thin beam of white heat flashed. The command ship went dark. In the Solfides, Aeolus Dragon spoke one last time. The ward stands. This war ends. Then the dragons stopped. The remaining Dominion ships powered down. Surrender beacons blinked into life days later. The galaxy was still shaking. Some empires called Earth dangerous. Some called Earth lucky. Most called Earth untouchable. And that was the only word that mattered. In every public broadcast after the battle, Mara repeated one simple lesson. A ward is not a boast. It is a promise, and promises have teeth. Above Earth, 3 star dragons hung in orbit like living mountains. They did not ask for gifts. They simply watched. Mara stood outside the Himalayan cave and looked up. For the first time in months, she breathed without tasting panic. Rook walked up beside her. So what happens now? He asked. Mara kept her eyes on the sky. Now we repair, she said, and we stay worthy. Rook nodded slowly. And the dragons? Mara glanced back toward the cave entrance, where Zyra rested in shadow. We do not own them, she said. We do not command them. We are their witnesses. Far away, Verax sat in a locked cell while his empire broke apart. He replayed the human sentence again and again, trying to find the lie. There was no lie. It was not a threat. It was consequence spoken earlier, so no one could claim surprise. When Earth found a stolen egg, it could have used it. Instead, Earth, protected at that small choice, reached across stars and pulled an ancient power awake in hidden relays. The message still echoed, waiting for the next empire that forgot the cost of greed. Earth's final transmission: you have sealed your fate.